Wow, super delayed. Dude, that's like 30 seconds. I think we're on.
I think we are too. How can you see if people are there?
Because somebody just came in. All right. I think we're live here on the YouTube. Really super delayed on the YouTube. Let me change. Oh, it's in here. It says it right here, Todd. Don't want that in there. We want this.
Oh, the description. Yeah.
What's up, people? We are just setting this up. We haven't done a Facebook Live in a long time, so go ahead and leave us some comments. Use the code LAUNCH at checkout to get $50 off. Hi, 3 people that are watching. Hey, guys, be sure to type your questions. Todd and I are talking about the FroKnowsPhoto Guide to video editing, which just launched today, and that's what happened. We just set up this live stream. I know, Todd looks inquisitive. He's like, what is going on here? We just set this up. We didn't even know how to set this thing up, to be honest with you. So here we are. Who has checked out the FroKnowsPhoto Guide to... Yep, look at that, Todd.
Oh, look at that.
Actually, let me make this smaller.
There's people.
Yep, there's welcome, guys. I know this is... We're going to sit here. We're going to have a discussion with you about the FroKnowsPhoto Guide to video editing. Shit, I hit the lower the thing again, Todd.
Get it together.
Here's the here's the link. Who here has picked it up? Who here is interested in getting it? The link is down below. Actually, I don't even know how this stuff works. I'm going to go to youtube.com/JaredPolin just to see myself live. Look, see, it shows up right there.
There it is.
That's pretty cool. So we'll maybe I'll do this more often. So we just need to get your questions. I'm going to make it bigger because
so you can read the
I can't read it.
There you go.
Okay, I'm a YouTuber and use Windows Movie Maker. I have a watermarked down version of Premiere, but I'm too scared and intimidated to learn it. I want to have better content. Will this help a lot? Todd, tell Bradley.
Yeah, it'll help a whole lot. Because the programs don't really matter. It's like learning how to use a camera. You can use any camera, but you have to know all the techniques and the mentalities and the methods to getting good pictures. Once you understand all the techniques to editing, then you can use any program that's out there. So Windows Movie Maker is fine to get your feet wet. If you want to graduate towards full-blown Premiere, you can do that. But the guide will help you to tell the best story through the editing process.
I don't even know where you go to find this live. Oh, it's right there. Nope, that's not it. I don't know, Todd. I keep playing around. All right, so what other questions do we have in here? What's the best setting to upload YouTube using the DJI Osmo? Well, that's something else.
Maybe I need to get closer. It said, speak up, Todd.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody did. Can you hear me all right?
It shouldn't be using that. It wouldn't be using this.
No, I don't think so.
I'll just put that on mute. What editing software is good? Okay, so let's just talk about the FroKnowsPhoto Guide to video editing real quick. For those of you who don't know, it just came out today. We launched it. It's 9 hours of unbelievably good, solid information that's hands-on learning. You don't just get to sit there and watch us edit. We supply you with all of the raw footage so that you can take what you learned from Todd and I during the guide and then go ahead and edit it yourself to come up with something cool. So
that's the key. It's that we teach you for 2.5 hours, and then we give you another 4 sections of 90 minutes of hands-on using those techniques in 4 different situations, editing a music video, editing a corporate commercial EPK, editing a YouTube video, editing a short film or a movie or something. We show you how to use all these techniques in real-world situations so then you can go out and utilize them in any situation that you want to do. Now, I see people asking, hey, I've got Movie Maker, I've got Vegas, I've got Premiere, I've got Final Cut. Those are just tools. Those are just editing programs, are just tools to edit with. These are techniques and methods and ways to edit that have been used since people were splicing together film and going tape to tape and things of that nature. So don't get too hung up on the program. Sometimes when you're not getting the results you want, it's not necessarily the program that's the issue. It's that it's possible that you don't know all the options that are out there for you to take advantage of to help sell the illusion of your edit. Because I know we say in the guide that editing is the
Sorry.
we're playing bumper cars. Editing is the invisible art form. Like, a great edit should not be seen.
Okay, here's a good question. What's the difference between your guide and the other million guides available for free? You're not going to find the quality of information that we put in our guide for free. Now, you will be able to find some fantastic information on the internet and on YouTube, but if you want to spend hours upon hours trying to find information that you think may be good or useful, you can do that. We don't tell you not to, but you're not going to find the level of quality of information that we give you in a 9-hour guide. That's why we suggest that you pick it up for right now $147. Use the discount code LAUNCH. What is the code, Todd?
Launch!
The code is LAUNCH on at the link that's down below so that you guys can check it out. Go over to the site and check out the free preview that we give you. I'm sure I could figure out how to do a live showing of it, but we haven't even played with this new software yet that I just decided to do. Oh, the VMU looks good.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so let's see. What other questions do we have here? The video and the audio aren't in sync. Well, we can't handle that. That's why we don't go live on YouTube. That's why we do Facebook Live, and that's why we film the podcast, because the stuff isn't synced up.
Yep.
Todd, show them your shirt. I just saw that it's awesome. And how many percent discount? That is a 26% discount off. Well, it's larger than that. The price of the guide officially is $297. After 2 weeks, it's going to be $197, but right now it's $197. But if you use the code LAUNCH at checkout, you're going to get $50 off. So percentage is honestly 26%, and that's actually giving you $51.22 off. Guys, write in the comment section right now, LAUNCH.
Launch!
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 It's got to be yelled LAUNCH.
Yeah, you have to yell it, or it's not going to work.
How much time do you spend editing average YouTube video? Well, let's talk more about questions about the guide. Do you want to pull out these notes from before, Todd, that maybe could help us talk about some things?
Yeah, so I know a lot of people, again, and they already started asking, what program do we use? What program do you use? What program? We use Final Cut in the guide.
Somebody yelled Hoya.
Hoya! we use Final Cut in the guide, and that's just because I feel like that's a good base level, entry level program for a lot of people. But again, we don't talk about button pushing. It's not about the program as much as it's about the mentality, the techniques, and the ways that you edit film and video, that we just happen to be using a program as a tool. The programs are tools. And again, it doesn't matter what camera you use to shoot, as long as if you understand how to use a camera, you can get great photos. If you understand how to edit, it doesn't matter what editing program you use, you can edit great videos. And that's what we tackle in this 9-hour guide.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of this stuff. Somebody asked about
color correction?
Yeah, color correction.
Yeah, we get into color correction. We talk about it, and then we do it in the hands-on section because there's some issues with the video that we're editing. So you can see that there. Again, color correction that we deal with is everything that you can do within the programs that you're using. We don't get into any external programs for color correction. That's more of a specialty thing. But we utilize everything that you can do in most editing programs to make sure that your color is consistent and that you have a continuity throughout your project. That, to me, is the biggest thing. You want to make sure that if you're editing, to make sure that your motion is matching and that you've got a continuity in your scenes. And then if your color doesn't match, then that just breaks the continuity, that breaks the illusion that you're editing of the project you're editing. So that's kind of what we make sure we hammer down on in the guide, and we definitely get into that.
I'm just looking to figure out how I send the link to this, Todd.
Up to the people.
To other people. It's probably just this, and then I think if I go like
it's
that,
in the description. If you tell them
it's
in
right
the description.
there. Well, no,
Yeah.
but I'm going to the Twitter, and I'm going to also go to the Facebook and tell people we're live right now, and we'll see if that works. So keep those questions coming, and while we're answering those, I'll do that. Will this be take my editing to the next level. I already know the basics. Yeah, who's the guide for, Todd?
Well, I would say that if you're a beginner, you don't know anything about editing, we definitely do a lot of hand-holding at the very beginning. We show you the very basics. We even get into a little bit of editing history, where some of these techniques come from. Because like I said, a lot of these techniques have been around for 100 years. They were just using different tools, whether it be a splicer or tape-to-tape. Now we just happen to be using non-linear editing, computer-based editing, and that really hasn't changed. Now, beyond that, we get into advanced techniques in the guide as well that are going to help to take your basic editing knowledge to the next level. If your edits aren't giving you exactly what you're looking for, this will help to notch it up. Unless you're an editor that's been doing it for 20, 30 years, you probably will benefit from this guide. As I'm telling you, everything I've learned over the last 20 years, I've put into this guide.
And I think this guide is great. Like me I am no expert at editing. I'm proficient enough to be a little bit dangerous, but with what I've learned from Todd over the last couple of years and in the guide, I've become, like an okay editor, and that makes me an even better editor. So whether you're an amateur, a beginner, a newbie, an advanced, even if you're a professional, there's probably information in this guide that's going to help you save time, and then the time equals money, because you will make more money with adding this. Now, somebody just said that they bought the guide. First off, thank you. They bought it from, I believe, Ireland, and they got charged VAT. Unfortunately, each country has different laws about purchasing stuff online, and so that's why you got charged VAT. Unfortunately, we don't have control over that. It's country by country, and if our payment processor is doing it, it's because they're being told they have to do it. It sucks. I'm sorry, but it's the way that the taxes are. And somebody said they would like to see the launch table of contents. If you go over to the website, watch the video there, the 20-minute video. And I think I also put that live on YouTube earlier this morning. You can see and hear from us exactly what's covered in the guide. You could also purchase it, and then if it's not for you, you could always get a refund. Be sure if somebody asks a question in the comments and we haven't gotten to it yet and you know the answer, go ahead and leave it as a comment for them as well. What are some examples? You name some of your favorites. I don't have Final Cut Pro, but use Vegas and have a good knowledge about it. I theoretically, can I get the same results with both programs? Did we talk about the programs yet?
I mean, we do, and again, when we live stream on Facebook, that was one of the biggest questions is, well, I have this program. Will it work on this program? Yes. Look, all programs basically do the same thing. You cut, you wipe, you dissolve, you put some music, some sound, you deal with that. They're all doing the same thing. The buttons might be in different places. They might call it different things. You might have different keyboard shortcuts. But that, again, you learn all of these things, and then all you do in each program is you're like, oh, where's that button at? There it is. Just like when you get a new camera, you're like, oh, where's the button for ISO? Where's the button for aperture? Like, it's all the same. Things do not change in terms of editing program to program. They all do the same thing. They're not the buttons might vary. The results are the same. So that's why what we did in this guide is we made it program agnostic. You can use any program and utilize everything we teach in this guide to make your videos better.
I see some people saying that this looks so much better than Facebook Live. Maybe we need to look into this for some things over at the Fro Factory, a way that we could connect multiple cameras. Now, I do not plan on going live for Raw Talks at all. There are way too many issues with going live, with latency, with just interruptions. I love the way our show is currently. It's basically live when you watch it back. So, not sure if I missed something. The promo for the regular guide, are you guys going to be going through the guide on this stream? Well, I don't think we can show the stream.
And again, if you go over to the page, you can see everything that's in this
guide.
Yeah, it's a 20-minute. You've got over on the page is a 20-minute video that's going to show you everything that's happening.
Right. This is it right here. That's it right there. Thanks. I'm glad you guys like Raw Talk. Yeah, YouTube Live. We're cool. We just figured we would try this out. Has anybody picked up the guide so far? Upload to SoundCloud. Joe, yeah. So let's get those questions in, guys. Let's see some more questions. Well, yeah, we could have streamed to Twitch also, but
Yeah.
we've got this going on right here because we have you guys to watch. Let's see. Oh, awesome. Downloading now. Thank you very much. Oh, that's great. That's a great comment. The current angle of the camera is much better. Well, that's because it's not using my phone. I think at some point, Facebook Live is going to let us do the same exact thing that we're doing right here in the future. So that's what we'll get to at some point. What other questions do we have here?
Well, people were asking about, let's see. Somebody want to know, is it downloadable only or is there a DVD?
Okay, so this is only downloadable only. Wow, I said only twice. This is straight up downloads only right now. The reason is that it's 16 gigabytes of information. That would have taken multiple DVDs to send out. It just didn't make sense to make DVDs. Plus, the majority of the people want this as a digital download. You get to instantly get it. So somebody asked in the last live stream, is this for only one computer? Well, no, you download it to your computer and then you can unzip the files and put them on any computer. You could store them in the cloud so that you always have a backup of it. Then you could also put it on your phone or tablet. You just have to download it to a computer first.
And I saw somebody ask something about compression. We definitely talk about export settings for a variety of different things and how you get things out and about. We even touch on a little bit how you'll get specific specs when you deliver to somebody like Netflix, or you deliver to broadcast television, or when you just want to put it up on YouTube. We definitely touch on that. Also, in regards to that, I know a lot of people before were asking about codec and proxy media. Do we talk about that? We walk you through all of that up front to make sure that you've got not only do you know the best ways to edit things, but that you have a good, smooth editing process, so that you've chosen the right sequence setting, so that you've chosen the right format for your codec, and so that, right before you even lay in the first thing into your timeline, you've already created the best environment to tell the best story, so that you can actually be artistic and tell a good story instead of worrying about, oh, I can't find this file, and I think I messed up my compression, or I think I messed up my codec, and my frame rate's off, so now everything's screwed up. So we cover all that up front. We walk you through it from beginning to end, and then we get into the hands-on. We get into more advanced techniques to take yourself to the next level.
Yeah, and I see a question here. Do we give example videos to go along with your edits? What is great is you watch the edits that Todd's making on the screen, and then you can have all of the footage from all the angles that Todd has or is editing with, and you can try editing it any way you want. That's why we give you the footage. Unlike so many different guides out there, we chose to give you the same footage that we're editing from the multiple shoots, from the EPK, from my music video, from Flower Power, from my YouTube video. You get all of the multiple angles and the audio so that you can go ahead and edit it yourself.
If you're familiar with the FroKnowsPhoto guide to DSLR video, everything we shot for that guide, the EPK, the music video, the YouTube video, the short film, we edit those hands-on and show you everything we do to get those in a good place, as well as any issues we had while we were editing, and then we give you all of that. We give you all of that footage. In addition, we created a brand new short film that has Jared and I acting in it. And not only did we make that for this, we did it so that we would highlight all of the techniques that we show in this guide, so that you can utilize all the techniques in one place. So we give you this new footage, and this is exclusive just to this guide, and it's called Flower Power.
Right. Syncing audio. We do go over how to sync audio. Audio is a part of it. We talk about how to get audio syncing, and what's great is in multiple programs, a lot of it's done automatically by the program. So we go over that. We talk a lot about that. We talk about how to export stuff, and it's not just talking. We show you how to do this stuff, so it is not boring. If you have any of do you include separate recorded audio?
We talk about syncing sound, when to do it, how to do it. We show how you would possibly tackle that. Also, in terms of sound, we talk about how to utilize sound to help sell your cuts, how to sell the illusion, as we like to say, how to utilize sound to motivate motion on the screen, how to motivate emotion on the screen, And then also we get into a little more technical stuff, where your level should be when it comes to dialogue, where they should be in terms of background noise and music and sound. And so we cover a lot of sound throughout the guide, because obviously that's half of every video you got.
So what's interesting is somebody said that we could do Wirecast through Facebook. I'm going to also have to figure that out. I don't even know where that option is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys, you think we should come on Facebook? What are we on, YouTube? You do YouTube Live more often? This would be interesting. I've never sat... I mean, I did once back when it first launched.
Yeah.
I haven't used this since we've used Facebook.
What program do I use? I use Final Cut and I use Premiere. So I flip back and forth depending on the project. The last feature film I edited, I did that in Premiere. The edit guide itself, 9 hours, I did that in Final Cut X. So it's just it's kind of whatever I feel fits the project.
Thanks, Lee Deadbrock, for purchasing it already. If you don't know what we're talking about the FroKnowsPhoto Guide to Video Editing. This is the link once again. It's coming in the comments. And if you use the code LAUNCH, guys, what's the code?
Launch!
Jesus, Todd. Whoa. If you use the code LAUNCH at checkout right now, you're going to get $50 off at checkout. You want me to lower this?
Oh, it's up to you. Does it lower?
Oh, yeah, it lowers from right here.
I can't wait to see your...
There, is that
There
better?
you go. That's good.
Now you should be able to get up in there. Yeah, launch! Do you cover using bespoke graphics, typography, overlays, etc.?
Where's that? Oh, yeah. We get into all kinds of visual effects, graphics, text, overlays, dealing with all that stuff. We get into utilizing that in the music videos. Definitely. If it can be done in your regular editing program, that's what we deal with. Now, I saw somebody ask earlier about After Effects and motion and things like that. What we deal with in terms of the visual effects space are things that you can do within your editing program. We don't go out into After Effects. We don't go out into motion. So we try to keep everything into one program so that you can complete these with enough knowledge that you can keep it all into one program.
So somebody asked where can they buy it from their country? Yeah, this is available from anywhere in the world. You can purchase it from anywhere in the world. It's available right meow.
And Taco Bell Becky is not in the guide, unfortunately.
I don't think she was invented yet.
No.
Todd wasn't even on the podcast by the time when this launched, when we started filming it.
I'm sorry, I'm a lot less funny in the guide. I'm probably,
well, Todd's very... Oh, look, somebody from Amsterdam, the Netherlands. I'm supposed to maybe go there soon.
Nice.
Yeah, you can download from Ireland. Definitely buy now and use the code. Thank you. I like to see that.
Todd, I was considering the mentoring add-on. Can I buy it later?
So if you didn't take the mentorship option after you purchased it, make sure you send support@FroKnowsPhoto.com. If you decide that you do want it in the long run, we may send an email out, or if you just send it personally, we could give you the link to that page if that's something you wanted in the future. What's the runtime of the guide? 9 hours.
It's over 9, but somewhere around there. And if you're not familiar yet, there's a mentoring program that's available for purchase once you get the guide. If you want a second set of eyes to look at your videos, you'll have the ability to send me a video once a month, up to 30 minutes. I'll give you notes on your edit, how you can tweak it and finesse it to make it a little bit better. You'll be able to then use those notes to re-edit, to adjust your video, send me a revised version, then I'll give you final notes. So you'll get 2 sets of notes from me per month per video. So it's possible to have that's very useful to me. I like having somebody that I can rely on that's got a good sense of editing. And again, Steven's always calling me every week. We talk about like, hey, what do you think? Should I do this? Should I do that? If you don't necessarily have that support in your business, that's what that's for. That could be very helpful to have a second pair of eyes, and that's what the editing mentorship is.
So the editing mentorship, if you really wanted to break it down, we would charge probably $1,000 to get access to Todd like that, because Todd's going to be doing it's $197, but that's broken out over an entire year, and you get the once a month, send him up to a half an hour video, get notes back. re-edit, get notes back after that, and then have your final thing. It's going to save you a lot of time. I mean, the whole point about creating this guide, other than it's a companion guide with the DSLR video guide, is that it's supposed to allow you to be really dangerous as a creative. If you're already shooting photos and you're already shooting video, and now you don't have to send out to have somebody else edit it, and you can do the editing yourself, you're going to make all of the money instead of having to pay somebody else to do it. The guide is just going to pay for itself. It really is.
And I see somebody asking, should they shoot with 24p or 60p? Look, now you're getting this stuff where you're talking about things that are from the FroKnowsPhoto Guide to DSLR Video, and these go hand in hand. As far as editing is concerned, your sequence settings, be your resolution and your frame rate, are going to be tied to how it was shot and how the producer, director intended it to be. So that's something you kind of got to follow their lead. Now, if you're the shooter and the editor, that's where, utilizing both the DSLR video guide and the guide to video editing go hand in hand, because then you realize that, they benefit one another. As a strong editor, it's going to make you a better shooter, and being a great shooter makes the editing process a lot easier as well.
So you guys are better than college with the mentorship. Thank you, Bradley Morris. You're absolutely correct. In terms of codecs, did you talk about codecs yet, Todd?
We talked about it a little earlier, but yeah, we totally talk about codecs. We talk about proxy media. We talk about the best way, basically, with codecs, which means compression, decompression, is basically the way that your computer handles video, because video is very large. It's intensive to the computer, so it's got to have a codec to be able to deal with all that processing. So we talk about codec, we talk about proxy media, we talk about sequence settings, basically getting you off on the right foot before you even make a creative, artistic decision about your edit.
The code launch is available for 2 weeks from now. If you were on my email list, you would have gotten an email that has a countdown timer, but launch is available until basically 14 days from now. This is interesting, doing the Facebook Live. We have people watching, so maybe we'll schedule some more of this. Somebody asked, can we connect a DSLR to this? I think there is a way to do that. We'll just have to get some switchers and things if we are going to do that. I think if we do start to use live like Twitch or Facebook Live or YouTube Live, we're probably going to undertake that over at the new studio, because maybe we could do like news live just for fun. I don't know. There's the endless possibilities of that.
I saw somebody earlier say something I was going to respond to. Oh, again, the 20 frames and the 24 frames and 60 frames in post. 60 frames is going to give you slow motion. It's not going to give you necessarily better quality if you just go 24p, if you want it to be normal speed. But when you've got 60 frames and you spread those 60 frames out over a 24 frame timeline, that gives you much better slow motion. And, to shoot that, we talk about that in the DSLR video guide, and then we also deal with that in the editing guide to show you the post aspect of it.
I guess it's YouTube. I didn't do my intro. Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. We're talking about the FroKnowsPhoto Guide to Video Editing. We are looking to move into the Fro Factory within the next month-ish. I was over there getting internet installed yesterday, so internet is kind of... You need to have internet before you can move in. So I got that done at least a month early, just so that we could get cranking on that.
Is 30 frames per second a good medium? 30 frames per second is your video look. That's going to look more like a video, like news, like sports games. If you want it to look more cinematic, you're going to want to be at 24 frames per second. That gives you a specific motion blur that you're used to seeing in your movies and your television shows and things of that nature. And if that's something you want to get into more so in the shooting aspect, that's in the DSLR guide.
Now my head's just spinning, Todd, thinking about live photo shoots. But again, here's the reason I'm thinking about the live thing all over. Live photo shooting and doing the stuff live just creates more issues, because is there a difference between having 230 people watching now, or we go ahead and we film something, edit it nicely, and then have 20,000 people watch it when we put it live? And that way you can polish it more, because I've seen there's other people that do live, and they run into issues constantly. Audio issues, syncing issues, connectivity issues. And, honestly, I love our format for the podcast. So what we're doing right now is we're talking about the FroKnowsPhoto Guide to Video Editing. And let's get your questions. You got questions? Keep them coming.
I mean, it seems like we're getting a lot of questions about DSLR video.
Yeah, let's talk about editing.
Now, in terms of the editing guide, again, if you do want to know about DSLR video, if you purchase the editing guide today, you are going to get an offer to get a discount on the DSLR video guide.
Yep.
So if you need everything, you need to know how to shoot better, you need to know how to edit better. Now's the time to get everything all at once at a discount.
Yeah, you'll get the DSLR video guide offered for $20 off, which is a nice little offer, nice savings. I see that Ren Till from Belgium says thanks for all the content. This guide sounds to be the full package. I'm going to check the preview now. That is absolutely correct. If you guys want to check out the preview, can you guys copy and paste this into the comments? I'm going to paste the link right now. Go ahead and copy and paste that for us, and that will... Oh my God, I can put all these different things in there. Copy and paste it so everybody else can see it. Oh, downloading it now. Any views on the Blackmagic production cameras? Well, we haven't talked about that, but Brian, thank you for picking it up. Tony Stark. Tony Stark. Oh, you can't paste links. I'm sorry. I didn't realize they don't let you do that. Am I allowed to paste a link? Maybe I'm not even allowed to paste a link. Let me just type in test. See, am I able? Oh, test shows up, but it doesn't. Wow. Thank you, Leroy, for doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I'm sure if we scheduled a live viewing of something, I'm sure if we set a time that said we would be live at a certain time, we'd get a lot of people to show up. 220 people, it's a little less than what we have on Facebook, but if we promoted the fact that we were going live on a certain time, I think we would get quite a lot of people to show up. So what's cool, over on the page, FroKnowsPhoto.com/video-editing-guide, is we have a preview, 3 actual pieces of content from the guide that you can watch. So you get to watch 3 or 4 minute clips that show you exactly what we're talking about, and that's highly beneficial. Yeah.
And over on the page, we've got a number of reviews, people that watched it ahead of time, guys that are already editors and video producers, so they could have a look at it. And everybody seems to really enjoy it. And you can check out. If you don't believe us, see what they have to say over on the page as well.
Yeah, the testimonials are definitely well worth it. Share on your own timeline. All right. Let's see. Questions. Will the DSLR video guide discount be more than it already is at $97? Well, if you purchase the FroKnowsPhoto guide to video editing right now and you use the code LAUNCH, you will be offered, after you purchase that, the DSLR video guide at a discount. Yeah, it's $77, not $97, so you're saving another $20. Okay. Just reading some of this. Will I ever come to Croatia? Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll come to Croatia. The code, again, is LAUNCH. Jesus. Should we do more YouTube lives? You guys like this? Or where did you see the live show up? Were you on Facebook, or did you see it on Twitter? Let me know.
I understand you use Premiere. Will I have any challenges using iMovie? Look, a lot of if you're using iMovie, a good majority of everything you learn in this guide is about how to cut stuff together and what techniques to use to cut things appropriately, and you'll be able to utilize nearly everything in iMovie. Some things may not translate to iMovie, like utilizing multicam editing. I don't know. I don't think they have a robust multicam editing feature there, but I don't think that's make or break if you're just getting out started and you're trying to cut your first commercial or your first YouTube video or even your first feature film. I cut my first music video in iMovie, so it's very doable, and nearly everything you learn in this guide is doable in iMovie.
Very cool to see people saying that they got notifications on YouTube. I also see somebody saying that, sorry, they don't want to buy it because there's plenty of free information. Yeah, there's plenty of absolutely free information on the internet, but honestly, you could search for hours and days and weeks and months for all of that content, and it still won't match the quality of the content that we have inside this guide. So if time is money to you, then learn it all. Somebody said, how big is the guide in terms of downloading? It's 16 gigs, but there are 5 files, so it's 2.9 gigs, one file, 3.4 gigs, another file. So it varies, but you should be able to download them pretty quick.
And again, with finding stuff online, you can piecemeal that information together and you can generally find what you're looking for. But this is a concise, scripted, purposefully put together guide that isn't just teaching you information. We're going to show you how to use the information, and then we give you all the footage that we're using to edit yourself and make your own decisions. So that's where I think it's very different than just finding information is one thing, but the place where I learned everything the best was hands-on, and you get the opportunity to be hands-on with the exact footage that we're using. That you're not going to just find online, and that's the only unfortunate part about stuff that's online. A lot of us struggle to figure out all these things on our own, but then, we don't know how to use it in practice because we never have the opportunity. Maybe we have never edited a music video before, and you don't want to have to learn on the fly, trial by fire. I'd rather you use our stuff, cut together a practice music video, and then go out and do one and kill it.
I saw somebody ask, how long do they have to download the guide? It's the links that you get are active for 120 hours or 9 clicks. If you ever run into an issue with any of our guides where the links expire, you just send us an email to support@FroKnowsPhoto.com and we reactivate it. What?
I'm driving. What's the price?
Oh, the price is $197, but if you use the code LAUNCH at checkout, you'll get $50. Well, technically it's $51.22 off. So it's $147 less a little bit, so that you could basically get $50 off. It's well worth it. We think long and hard about the stuff that we put out, how much we charge for it, especially that, look, this is only the 4th guide that I'm selling. This is it. 4 guides, and then on YouTube, there's 2,100 free videos. So if you are looking for a way to say thank you for all the free content, and you can learn something from it, that is one way that you could do it, is pick up any of the guides. We really appreciate the code. I mean, I guess they didn't hear...
Launch!
Jesus. Taco Bell Becky.
I got launch! Somebody was asking, did I go to school or did I learn it on my own? I went to school and I had a couple editing classes, but again, you know how that is. You learn from the books, you might learn a little bit hands-on, and then you go out into the real world, and then that's where the rubber hits the road and you figure out like what actually works out in the real world. And so I would say, yeah, sure, I learned the basics in school, but a majority of like the really important things, the aha moments, are things that I had to learn on my own. And again, I put everything that I know and I think is super important that everybody should know into this guide.
Yeah, we give all the information. We don't hold anything back. Somebody asked programs again. If you didn't hear, it doesn't matter what program you have. We teach the fundamentals and the theories behind how to edit, not how to push buttons in a program. We guarantee you that no matter what program you use, you will be able to figure it out once you know the fundamentals and theories. And that's for a beginner. If you're an amateur or if you're somebody who's an advanced editor, we still think there's going to be a ton of information for you in this guide, because if you become a better editor faster, that means you can edit more, you can make more money, you can charge more, and also being an editor means that it's going to make you a better shooter as a one-man band, meaning you're now shooting video and you're not, you know how you're going to edit it, so you're saving yourself time when you're doing that. I'm going to answer this. Do you care if I answer that?
Yeah.
So somebody asked, how do I feel about my guides being on torrent sites? And that's a valid question. I honestly, if they, it would be great if they weren't. But my answer to that is, if somebody is going to steal or download the guide, they weren't going to purchase it in the first place. But maybe if somebody does torrent it, they become a follower and a fan of the website, and that's fine. That's really the answer to that.
Does it teach color grading? Yeah, we touch on color correction in the guide, but usually the color correction we deal with is the stuff that is in the guide. Oh boy, here we go.
Well, somebody's talking about biceps, so.
When we
Oh yeah, here's the slash. Go to FroKnowsPhoto.com/video-editing-guide. Now just put that into the URL, FroKnowsPhoto.com. I see it. It doesn't really matter whether that's capital or not, because I made the change. But if you go to FroKnowsPhoto.com/video-editing-guide, you can go ahead and check out the preview. And that's really, thank you, Jelly Water. Jelly water.
Jelly water.
Jelly water. Thank you very much.
There we go.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Thank you for posting that. And don't forget about the launch code. Launch. Jeez. Morgan, what's the code? Yeah.
There she goes.
Well, you edit. We color grade, so we did do that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Dutch. Those biceps look great. I wish we could show you some previews. I'm going to have to toy around with the live software so we can show you our screen. I actually think I know how to do that, Todd.
Really?
Watch.
Uh-oh. All right, here we go.
Make sure that new local desktop presenter.
Ugh.
Should I even mess with this time?
No.
You don't think so? Not this time around? All right, we'll mess with it the next time around. What questions could we answer for you guys? Would it be worth the money if you're mainly interested in becoming a photographer? Well, in this day and age, like I've said repeatedly, I think you need to be more than just a photographer in order to become successful or to give yourself the ability to generate more revenue. So, yeah, I think it's very beneficial to a photographer.
I saw somebody ask about a guide to Micro Four Thirds.
It's still the similar.
Yeah, our guide to DSLR video is called DSLR video, but it works with any camera out there.
Well, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said I should have been the FroKnowsPhoto guide to filming, making video. Yeah, the problem is because any camera, it doesn't matter if it has the ability to shoot video, you're now shooting video.
So the guide again, just like the editing guide, doesn't matter what program you use. The DSLR video guide, it doesn't have to be DSLR. It can be Micro Four Thirds, mirrorless.
Do we plan on more guides? Maybe more guides about creating successful YouTube channels? So that's a good question. We actually filmed a free guide that's 2.5 hours that's coming out on website building and marketing. So it's not the how to physically build sites. It's about the theories and mentalities behind building it. We could have charged for it, but I'm not charging. We're going to give that away. If you're on my email list, you're going to get all 2.5 hours for free. We will seed it out to YouTube in probably 18 different pieces, but it's a free guide. Yeah.
I started, somebody asked how long I've been editing. I started editing in 95. So that's 21 years? 20 years? 21 years?
Somebody's asking, when will we post the review of the D500, the real world review? We have to film it. We have it on the books sometime in the next week and a half to at least film it. And, you know, we don't get the reviews out as fast as some other people, but we feel that the reviews that we do, we take our time with, just like the Nikon D5 review that you just saw on YouTube a couple days ago that went live. We want to make sure that we actually use the camera, print out images, get really detailed with it, and do it in the real world. So it does take a little bit more time.
Does it work with Premiere Pro? The guide is program agnostic. I used Premiere during the guide just because I felt like that was an easy entry level. People are familiar with iMovie, stuff like that. But this is program agnostic. You can use any program and utilize the techniques, the tricks, the mentalities, the tips. Everything we talk about in this guide can be used in any program out there within reason.
Can people who bought the guide on the first day get a shot at the Wheel of Fro? That's an interesting question.
Maybe we should have had the wheel right here.
Oh yeah, bring the wheel in here. I'll think about it. That is a good promotion. Maybe we'll do that.
Look at that. Adobe Premiere Elements. Yeah, I mean, look, again, so much of this guide can be used in any program out there. The only thing that I might say, not every program does multicam editing, but outside of that, I think almost everything we touch on in this guide can be used in any program.
So somebody said, what are the minimum computer requirements? That, of course, depends on the footage that you're going to be editing.
It depends on the project you're editing
right.
as well.
If it's a short project, look, any computer from the last couple years should be capable of editing 1080 footage. Now, if you're going to start throwing in there 4K footage, you may start to run into trouble.
But again, nobody's cutting a feature film in 4K. The last feature that I cut, we shot in 4K, but we had to we created proxy media to edit in. So you're going to edit in a lower resolution anyway, so your computer can handle it. And if you're shooting a long project and your computer can't keep up with a long project, cut it in scenes. Cut one scene at a time, spit out that little portion of the video, and then do an assemble of all those scenes in another sequence. And then you just have to work within the bounds of what you own. Don't let a program or a computer hold you back from telling the best story possible.
Exactly, Todd. Is it going to help somebody with who just uses a GoPro for moto vlogs? It will. It will help you put together and help tell the story. Of course, Todd will like to say with one angle it's going to be a little more difficult, but geez, man, we talk about glue. We talk about everything. The B-roll, we talk about there's a special offer for audio blocks and video blocks for people that purchase the guide. There's a discount in there waiting for you. So,
and I would say when you see how to edit, when you see the best ways to edit and create the best looking videos and tell the best story, you're going to have moments where you're like, oh, I should probably shoot this differently now. Being a great editor makes you a better shooter, filmmaker, director, because you're going to know that you have it. You can walk away, yep, I got it, I know I can cut this together. Or you're going to say, you know what, I should probably shoot something as an establishing shot, I should probably shoot some details so I can have some close-ups. It's going to make you a better all-around filmmaker, even if you don't anticipate editing everything yourself every single day. If you're going to give it to another editor, it's going to be better for you to understand the editing process so that you can shoot better, have educated discussions with an editor, and get your vision all the way from the paper to the screen.
So the question is, will this be available later? I think this is recorded, so it will save, and then you can play it back later.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes, Todd, speak that gospel.
Yeah, we like going live, and what we'll try one day is maybe we'll set up a broadcast and promote it to get a lot more people in here to watch, because we'll pick a time, and that way more people will know. This was just honestly, I didn't realize that hitting live on the application was going to put us live. I kind of had a feeling when I saw live show up on the top of the screen and the elapsed time was ticking that we might be live. So we weren't exactly ready.
It's a good thing we put our clothes back on.
Yeah, thankfully we did that. Did you guys talk? Yeah, we talked about color correction.
Yeah,
we talked about so the guide is editing, but it's the theories and mentalities behind it. We talked about that.
Let me see. Anything else here that people asked about?
Will the guide offer post-guide support Q&A? Well, that's part of the mentorship program. It's very similar to that. So, yeah, that would be there if you pick that up.
Yeah, that's an additional thing we have where you can send me one video per month up to 30 minutes, and then I will give you notes on that video. You can go back then and revise your video based on my notes, send me a revised video, and then I'll give you a second set of notes for your final cut. So, that's an additional thing that you can do, but it's very...
There's the link.
That's very beneficial.
I finally found the link for going live, Todd.
Oh.
Even though I was posting it, but...
You were distracting me. I didn't know what you were doing there.
Sorry. I know. It's a little different because on Facebook Live, it's instant. Basically what you're seeing. On YouTube, not as much.
How many seats are you planning for the mentorship guide? We're not exactly sure how many folks will let into the mentorship guide. Still kind of figuring that out and trying to figure out how much time that's going to take for me.
I think we do talk about this one in the DSLR.
You guys talk about writing, planning for video shoots. Yes, in the DSLR video guide, we talk about producing and pre-production and all that stuff. So if that's something you're interested in as well, and you want to get basically the entire filmmaker package is the editing guide and the DSLR video guide. So if you want to know everything that you need to know to go out there and shoot your own projects and cut them together and have them compete with the best and the brightest out there, that's what we've put into both these guides.
I'm just trying to... I saw that link. Now I know for the future, Todd.
There you go. Jared, I'm a high school student.
Yeah, I see that you only have 6 more days on your free Lightroom trial. It's... I don't have the money to pay. It's $9.99 a month. I mean, there are sort of ways around it.
Yeah, I do have Snapchat. It's I am Todd Wolfe. I am TODDWOLFE. Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. Does it cover sound design and audio editing? It totally does. We talk about sound syncing. At the beginning, we talk about utilizing sound effects and music and dialogue and how to piece all that together and how to mix it all. We also have the technical stuff for final mixes, like what levels and what decibels dialogue should be at, sound effects, etc., etc. So sound obviously is important in video, and we dive very deeply into that.
Do you see I have a timeout button?
Do you?
Yeah, I just put somebody in timeout.
What does that do?
It means for 5 minutes we won't see their comments.
Oh.
Because if you repeat the same comment over and over and we don't read it, it's probably for a reason.
Do you have any experience with making narrative films on videos? Yeah. I mean, I just cut a feature film. I finished a feature film right before we shot this editing guide. So that was maybe 18 months ago was the last feature film I did. And I used Premiere for that. We shot that in 4K. We had to have that transcoded into Proxy through a Red Rocket card, and then I cut it all together, and then the final export was done. You'll just relink it back up to the 4K footage. But again, when we had to deliver to Netflix delivery is only 2K. So everybody that swears by 4K, unless you're utilizing it to get more coverage. Personally, I think a lot of places still deliver in 2K nowadays. I think it's good for future proofing, but
Talk about the films you've worked on that they can find.
Left Right was my first feature film.
I downloaded it, never watched it, so he got $1.99 from me.
Yeah, Streets with Meek Mill. I edited that movie. A movie just came out called Brotherly Love. That was in theaters. I edited that. I don't know what else I did. Look at my IMDb. You can see it over there.
Todd's IMDb. So this Facebook Live, we're gonna have to figure out software just for the future, because I could see having a setup at home to talk to people more often, where you do live switching, or maybe you do it on Facebook one day and one night.
Yeah.
It would be cool because obviously you see how this software works. You add, we can add photos. We could cut to photos. You really could.
Yeah.
It's like a full software for $9.99.
So you can actually do switching here, like other stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I could add video, I could add audio, I could add this. This is how we could share this. We could share our desktop if we wanted to. We'll play with that off the air. You could cut different angles.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, Wirecast is pretty cool. And if you buy the other one, you can do multiple cameras. Now, we can probably start adding DSLRs. We just have to figure that out. Do you think school is necessary to become a pro? No, I don't think school is necessary to become a pro. There's a lot of free information, and then there's a lot of information like ours that if you were going to go to school and all you had to spend was, say, $300 on our stuff or Todd's mentorship on top of it, that's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than school.
I just saw something a little earlier. Can I scroll back?
You're getting an error when trying to add the guide to your cart. Refresh or try in a different browser.
Where was that? Somebody's asking about After Effects. After Effects, if you're not familiar with that, After Effects, Motion are effects programs that are outside of your editing program. We don't get into that too much. We do talk about it, but we don't get into them hands-on. All the effects and visual effects and special effects that we do are things that we can do inside of the program itself, so that you do not have to go outside and learn another program. We utilize this is the guide to video editing. This is not the guide to necessarily visual effects. So maybe we'll do that in the future. Have I used After Effects? I have, when I've done extensive like motion tracking and green screen work. There was a music video I did for actually a music video that went along with the Streets movie from Nam Brigade. I think that's on my YouTube channel. And I had to do extensive motion tracking and green screen work. That I use for After Effects. But again, this guide is about video editing, and all of the effects that we do are usually found within your editing program, so that you can stay in one program and you don't have to spend any more money on extra things.
Actually, if you go to the website from your phone, it's still, it works, so you could also purchase it there. You just can't download it from your phone. Somebody was asking.
Oh. What program for film editing? Very simple. Which editing software do you use mostly? What editing programs do I use Final Cut and I use Premiere. And I switch back and forth. The last feature film I cut in Premiere. A lot of shorter things, music videos I've cut in X. I cut the entire video guide in Final Cut X. So it really doesn't matter to me. Again, it's just a tool. You give Jared any camera, he can take pictures. You put me in front of any editing software, I can edit in it. And those are the things that I teach in this guide and that we talk about in this guide are all the techniques and the mentalities and all the things you need to do to edit the best videos regardless of the program you're on. If you can't find if you're used to a button being somewhere in Final Cut and you can't find it in Premiere, all you do is a search in your menu and you can find that button. We're not teaching button pressing. We're teaching you the mentalities of how to cut the videos the best way so you can tell the very best story in the editing process. Do not get hung up on programs. Don't be intimidated by the programs. They're very simple. They all basically do the exact same thing. And don't feel bad if you've only got iMovie. You can get started on iMovie. I got started in iMovie, and I did a ton of stuff in there. I cut my first music video in iMovie.
Any good editing software for people with a low budget? If you have a Mac, iMovie comes free.
Yeah, I know. I think Movie Maker comes with something. I know there's Premiere Elements. I think is a entry level one. Do you edit Mac Pro? I have a Mac Pro at home. I have a trash can, and I have a laptop that I use. I've had a couple variations of Mac Pros over the years.
Yep, we talk about multicam editing in there. We talk a little bit about green screening, very little bit.
I talk about multicam editing and where and why it's useful, and we talk about utilizing it in program, and we talk about using things like Pluralize. So yes, Ren, all I'm saying is basically yes to everything you said. But yeah, we talk about multicamming, and specifically multicamming in obviously live events is where you would do multicamming. But with music videos, that's where I utilize multicamming the most, is in music videos, because you've got a uniform piece of music that plays every time. That doesn't change. So anytime that you're doing a music video and the track is the same, you can utilize a multicam edit to see all of your shots at one time. I cut all of my music videos now with a multicam edit.
I was just thinking, you'd be able to Twitch your photo editing or my photo editing or your video editing and have people watch you as you edit.
Wow.
Because this will let us do that.
I don't think anybody would want to watch me edit.
Probably don't want to watch you edit, but I could do a Lightroom 30 for 30 live.
Oh, yeah.
I could sit here and edit photos and do it live.
Thank you, Julie.
Though I still record it in full, do it in 4K or 2.7K on this screen, and then upload it instead of 720. But if people want to watch live, maybe I'll do a live tutorial thing like that.
You talk about how to film settings and gear. Not in the editing guide, but we have another guide entirely called the FroKnowsPhoto Guide to DSLR Video, which you could utilize if you have a DSLR, a mirrorless, or a micro four thirds. And again, if you purchase the editing guide now, you actually get a discount on the DSLR video guide. The two of them, they go hand in hand, because everything that we shoot during the DSLR video guide, the music video, the corporate EPK, the YouTube video, and the short film, we show you how to edit them in the edit guide. So they really do go hand in hand. So if you don't have both of them at this point, enjoy and get them both. It's the filmmaker package at that point.
The drone in the background on the shelf is actually a Phantom 2 with the GoPro. The ones on the floor right next to Todd's left arm, there's a Phantom 4 down there. So we do have a Phantom 4 here. I'm just starting to really think, yeah, you could do live audio. You could do live editing.
Shrivam, he just asked about story. How much do I talk about story and telling your story in this guide? The entire time. I'm always telling you, always ask yourself, why are you making edits? Why are you making cuts? How is it telling the very best story? How is it communicating the best to the audience? And these are things that I think get forgotten when you watch videos on YouTube, maybe, about here's where you find the button to do a cut. Here's how you do this technical function, without even talking about, are you telling the best story through the editing process? And that's where I think people get lost, and they just are like, you know what, I can't edit. It's not that you can't edit. You need to know the options in front of you to tell the very best story. You've got the story in your head. It's just knowing the options that you have to help tell that, and that's what this guide does really, really well. I'm super proud of it, and if you want to tell better stories through video, you've got to know how to edit.
We don't touch 360 4K video inside of this video guide for editing.
No, and I mean at this point, 360, it's questionable how you would actually edit it outside of jump cuts. And 4K video, the resolution doesn't matter. You could watch this editing guide in 20 years, and you could be cutting in 20K, and everything will still be relevant. The only thing that's going to change is your resolution. But you're still going to have to make sure that your sequence settings are right. You're still going to have to make sure your frame rate is right, regardless of what it is. So no matter how those things change, everything in this guide still remains the same. Again, a lot of these things they've been doing for the last 100 years. Your favorite movies, your favorite TV shows are utilizing these techniques regardless of the program, regardless if it's digital or if it's film. They still are going to be relevant now as they are. They're going to be relevant later as much as they are now.
It's true.
Boom.
Way to lay down the law, Todd.
Do you know?
I'm just checking something. Let's see. Questions. We really appreciate you guys coming in here. Best vlog camera. It doesn't matter. Just put a camera on yourself and get it out there and edit. Let's see. I was getting ideas, obviously, with the live stuff. It just, again, more toys for me to play with to go live. But could you imagine if we could do 4K live at some point? You just set up a dedicated 4K camera, and then I can connect it to the iMac. So I'll have two angles. I could talk to the camera, and then I can edit, and then we can cut to the editing to show me editing photos.
Yeah,
That's another cool thing to do live. Maybe I'll do that. Will I be going out tonight? I don't know, probably.
Somebody just said, Jared, what have you learned from the guide as a photographer going into video?
So that's a really good question. I learned quite a bit because at the very beginning stages of my editing, the very first thing that I edited was the FroKnowsPhoto, the Cooking with Jared video, which is in the video editing guide. Because that was the first time I edited multi-cameras or multiple cuts myself. Now, what did I learn as a photographer is that I knew just enough to be dangerous, but that's it. It wasn't polished. It was just cuts here, cuts there for no particular reason. And after sitting with Todd or being with Todd during the filming of it, and then Todd sitting with me personally as I'm doing my own multicam edits now, I now sit there and go, oh, that's a J cut. That's an L cut. That's how I put this under there. That's how I do this transition. So that's the stuff that, as a photographer, I am learning so much with the video editing that it takes it and it just polishes it, and it's not that much harder. Doesn't take extra time. Once it's there, it's like knowing the fundamentals of manual, aperture priority, and all of that stuff. It's the same thing when it comes to video editing.
Questions.
You're running out of steam, Todd?
No, I mean,
We're just looking at the questions. It's funny. I'm just watching us delayed here.
Yeah. No, and I would say, a lot of this stuff. I would say a lot of the stuff. If you watch the video that's at the top of the sales page.
Yeah. FroKnowsPhoto.com/video-editing-guide.
I think that's going to give you a lot of insight about what is really in this guide. I can answer all these questions, but you're really going to see how in-depth it is. But then at the same time, how much it'll take you from a very entry-level position, hold your hand, all the way up to editing the best story that you possibly can. Let's see.
Code again is launch.
Launch!
Ugh.
Start a video, image in your guide.
Code is launch.
My question is, do you need an insanely powerful computer to edit videos? No. Just understand what your computer can do and what its limitations are. If you have an average computer, you might not be able to edit the feature film in 4K, and you're probably not going to. You're going to probably utilize proxy media anyways to cut stuff. And if you've got a feature film to cut on a so-so computer, you're going to probably cut it scene by scene and then piece those exported final scenes out and cut them together. Just don't let your computer program or your computer stop you. You just have to understand its limitations and work within those limitations.
Not lunch. We just had lunch. It's launch. Why are you shouting? Well, because it's all capitals. It's case sensitive.
We talk about downgrading quality and proxy media and all that stuff. We talk about all that.
Shut up, nerd.
I do sound like a nerd right now.
Bring the Mr. Wives, Todd.
Do you use a glide cam in video? I do, and I use it in the DSLR guide to the video.
Music video.
I use it to. We use a glide cam in the DSLR video guide.
You want to say hi? What's the code, Morgan?
What's the code?
Launch.
Wow, that wasn't very uppercase.
No, that's not uppercase. It's got to be uppercase.
Launch.
There we go. That's uppercase.
That's
Better.
That was better.
So if you don't want this girl to starve, you need to purchase
She's not going
the
to starve. Did you
guide.
see what she had for lunch?
I know she did have.
She ordered tea.
She did have tea, and then she made you order tea.
She ordered
No,
tea.
I didn't.
I'm like, she's ordering tea. I better order tea. And then the pothead guy brought us a big tea, the wrong tea.
Yeah, he brought, you ordered green tea and I ordered peach tea, and he brought a huge thing of green tea. It's like, I didn't.
That is correct.
All right, we're going to talk about editing. Go on.
Yay.
We're almost done.
How much will video classes cost at the Fro Factory with Todd the God?
Wesley Jones, thank you for purchasing it. So that's a good question. We are debating, because we have the space, we may run a lighting class, we may do a beginner photography class, maybe we'll do an editing class. I don't know. I honestly don't know. We haven't really talked about that, but it would be very interesting.
And somebody, and in terms of that, I mean, if you're looking for a second set of eyes, or you care what I think about your edits,
Mentorship.
The mentorship is available after you buy the guide. There's a mentorship that you can send me videos, and I'll give you notes and my thoughts on your edits, and give you pointers or suggestions to plus it. So that's out there.
Do you know what I just think about, Todd, sitting here?
Is it? My daughter's here, so
No. It's the fact that we can sit here and go live on the internet. In today's world, you have the ability to be a broadcast network.
In a world where their internet exists.
You have the ability to be a broadcast network yourself without any strings attached. You can make podcasts. You can go live to people. And we got 228 people watching. It's not the most in the world, but man.
But it's the best people in the world.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming in and spending some of your Saturday with us.
Somebody was asking, what do I think about Casey's
Neistat
videos editing? I have to apologize. I'm not too familiar.
I watch almost every video that Casey puts up. I usually watch a couple back to back. Casey, for those of you who don't know Casey, I'm surprised you don't. He has almost 3 million subscribers now and has added 2.5 million in the last year or so. He just every day films video and edits it. Why does he have a leg up? Because he is a video editor. He is a filmmaker who knows how to edit video. Do you think I would have been... Here's what I tell people about how I became successful on YouTube.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey, Baba Booey. Because somebody asked that question earlier. How did I become successful? One of the ways was not relying on other people to do the shooting or editing of the video. If I had to rely on somebody else to do the editing of the video, I would have been on their time frame waiting for edits to be done, waiting for videos to go up, instead of me being able to shoot and edit. Even though my edits were just basic, they got me along for a long time until now we have Steven and Todd and Dan, So... I think the whole Casey question is relevant because he's a master at editing. If you can become a proficient at editing, even if you buy our guide, you will become proficient at editing. There's no doubt about it. If you watch it and you practice and you take our footage, you will get better. You are going to make yourself a better creative. You are making yourself a better opportunity at making more money with jobs. If you can shoot photos, shoot video, and now edit video, you are a total package one-man band.
Jared just pulled it down.
Yep.
What else, guys? What else you want to know?
He has 3 million subscribers now. Just the other day, he had 2.8 million.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
just the other day, like a week ago.
I love the last video guide. You touched on color grading. Yes, thank you. And if you like the last guide, it's very similar to how we teach it and put it forward, and we talk about color correction.
How to make money as an editor, Todd. You were a hired gun for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know how to make money as an editor. understand the editing process and understand how to tell the very best story. Because I've gone into places where they've hired me to fix things that other editors couldn't finish because they were not focused on story. They knew every keystroke, every keyboard shortcut. They watched every YouTube video and knew how every program worked, but they could not tell a story to save their life. So that's one thing in this guide. We focus on story. We talk about the why in this stuff.
Right. So here's a question from Bradley Morris. Someone told me I should physically go to school. Hold on, it's scrolling. Lots of questions. Physically go to school and not online because it gives you a better artsy and creative eye. Is that true? Now, that is one of the dumbest things that anybody could tell you. School can be very beneficial, but the reasoning that they gave you for not going to school is not exactly valid or legitimate. When you can sit here and purchase a guide for $197 and use the code LAUNCH to have it for $147, and you can pick up the mentorship. So you're looking at under $400 or $300 and some dollars to basically get an education.
And keep in mind, I think, again, we said about, whether it's reading a book or watching YouTube videos or watching this guide, if you don't do it hands-on, then you're never going to really learn. And that's why we give you all the footage that we use to you. And we even created a brand new film to edit specifically to highlight everything we teach in the guide.
Right, and I see that Martend Base, you guys open up photography and videography, video making for a lot of people in a fun and learning experience. Made me go out and buy my first DSLR. That's awesome to hear.
Nice, dude.
And that's what we do. And look, if you found value in anything that we've created, all the free videos, this is one way you can support us. Pick up any of the video guides, just even watching. That's what we care about. This is the stuff that helps us create more content, more free content, and sit here and do live stuff.
Yep.
Doing the live editing, sharing. We don't have to share what we share. I don't have to share what I share. I love sharing what I share. There's no reason that I shouldn't share what I share.
Taco Bell Becky's not in the guide. I'm sorry. Neither is Meredith.
No, they weren't even invented yet. Do you think editing other people's footage to create a story of their holidays, for instance, is a good idea for making money editing video?
Sure.
If you can, yes. I will tell you that Todd and I met on Craigslist because I was looking for somebody to take footage, just footage, and take it and make a story. Todd was able to take out like 20 hours of footage from South by Southwest and turn it into a music video. It was insane what he was able to do. If you look up Automatic Fire American Dream, you will see the video that Todd cut. It's on YouTube. Holy Jesus, did he save us when he did that?
I'm the best editor ever. Joe Baxter asked, how advanced does the guide get? I've done some work as an editor for production companies already. I'm so self-taught. Honestly, would your guide help? Yes. Yes, I would say so. Unless you're in it like 20 years, but if you're in like, a few years and you're getting your feet wet and if you've already got a good eye, that's half the battle. You already have a good sense of rhythm, but I think this will help you to really focus your energies on where it's most important. You're going to focus on story. You're going to focus on the why you're choosing edits, how you're communicating to your audience, and what techniques can help. What techniques can you use to answer those questions? If you have to tell the audience this, you might use this technique. If you have to communicate this to the audience, you might use that technique. And I think that it's going to be helpful even if you are an experienced editor, yes.
And what I'd like to say with that is, as an experienced editor, it's possible that you pick up some nugget of information, even if it's one nugget of information that saves you 30 minutes on a certain technique. That is well worth it and valuable to your future of editing.
As an editor myself, I love to hear experienced editors' conversations on editing because it helps me to focus on what's really important in scenes and in editing. So I think you'll get something out of it. You talk about editing to music, working on the downbeat. Oh, Julie, I do talk about editing to music and utilizing music to possibly use it within the scene or maybe after the scene. We totally talk about that.
We do think that this will be saved to YouTube at the end, so you should be able to watch back the hour and 14 minutes.
At what level does someone need to be before watching the guide? You can know little to nothing about editing, and we start from the very, 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 very beginning. So, to that advanced editor that was asking the question, you may need to, slog through a little bit of things that you might already know. But again, it's always good to be refreshed with even the basics as a professional.
So Tony Vanderbeek wanted to say thank you for all of the quality content you guys and Steven constantly put out. It's obvious how much work you put into it. It's amazing information, amazingly informative and entertaining. Thank you. That's why we do what we do. It is pretty awesome that we get to do what we do.
It's hard too. I mean, it's a lot of work,
but it's fun.
But anybody can do it. I mean, as long as they've got the tools and the know-how and the drive, you can do it. Do you talk about royalty-free music for videos? Yes, we talk about utilizing music for your projects in different ways, and also making sure that you've got
the right music, how to find the music.
And then, within the video guide itself, the package, there is an offer to grab audio blocks and video blocks for a year at a discount as well. So you'll have an option there as well.
This is not my first YouTube stream. I think I did one at my old place when they first put it live. And I just bought Wirecast for $9.99, even though I think I already owned it. Now, I said that after I bought it, but whatever. Yeah. Let's see. Somebody else asked... please tone down the upsell. Almost canceled because it was confusing as heck. Well, sorry you were confused. I don't think it is really that confusing, the upsell. An upsell is just an offer after the original offer. Do you cover audio syncing? Does the guide include... Okay, we
cover
answered
audio
all of that.
syncing. We definitely do. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier.
You're welcome.
Just reading some stuff here.
No, not that. Are you considered Premiere 30 for 30 like Lightroom?
Oh.
So we're waiting to hear. We'd like to do that. I just had deja vu that we've been here before. But Lightroom 30 for 30 is awesome. I guess I'll have to put up another one later. As part of it, it would be 16 of 30. And to be honest, I think we may go into overtime and have 32. I think maybe. We may go into overtime, but maybe I'll just sit here and do some live editing sometime. I know that, maybe I'll try it out and see how it works. This is fun. Do I like cheesesteaks? No. The way I get cheesesteaks, I get a plain steak with no roll and no cheese.
It's so much fun.
I know. Hey, Bradley Morris, thanks for interacting here and commenting. We've seen a bunch of comments from you. We really appreciate it. Thank you. What's the editing video in RAW format? Example, time-lapse, bigger size, bigger... no, I don't think we have an answer to that. What do you guys think of editing? Don't know that. Waiting for marketing website guide. Yes. Can't wait to put out the marketing website guys.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey to you all. We'll be on for maybe another 10 more minutes, I think.
Get your questions in.
You're welcome for all the effort. Thank you. We appreciate it. How do you get so many people to watch your videos? I think we put out fun and informative content. Since day one, my idea was fun and informative. If it's fun, people will come back. If it's informative, they'll definitely come back. If you're just a guy that has a shtick, you're going to be good for a minute, and then people aren't going to continue to watch.
Do we cover time-lapse? That's a shooting thing. So that's not necessarily post. I mean, you could tweak it in post and utilize the video that you get in your camera, but that's more of a camera thing.
What's the code, Todd?
Launch!
Use the code LAUNCH.
Joe, what's the code? Shut up, Joe! You don't have a microphone!
Yeah, Joe, go. Joe's probably at the Phillies right now slinging beer. Thanks. I know you love the videos with Lil. Lil, those were great videos.
Yeah.
I love seeing Todd's going nuts. We get to, because we're watching, it's like a 14-second delay. You're welcome, Alberto. Thank you for the comment. Hey, look, is color grading covered? Like we've answered that 35 times. Yeah,
yes,
it is.
Yes, we talk about color correction, nerds.
I am a turtle.
Nerds! Yeah, we definitely talk about color correction.
You think Hoya marketing worked for us, Todd? Do you think you going Hoya is a legitimate way of them being happy, like that people mention it?
Todd, do you do wedding video currently? Also, do you mention anything regarding wedding? All right, so wedding videos to me, I've never personally done wedding video, but everything I look at, what they usually utilize are things that you'll find in terms of music video and feature film, as well as like corporate EPK stuff. It's really a mashup of all those things. You take the best of those things, whereas the continuity of a feature film with wide, you might do establishing shots with the drone flying over the church, and then you've got different coverage that you have in the church, and then you might do interviews with people at the event, at the reception, and then you cut those together like an EPK.
It's like an EPK.
But then like you might shoot like the first minute is like a montage of like a romantic montage that's like very much feature film. So I think wedding videos, from what I've seen, where the quality ones go, is they're usually a mashup of some of the best things from multiple videos. You've got a little bit of music video in some of these things because they might cut them to music. You also have stuff that, again, is like feature film and is like EPK interview style. And I think it's usually the best of the best that goes into a good wedding video.
My regular set is awesome. Very professional. Well, that's my house. That's true.
Todd's rant. Enter Robin Quivers. Todd. To evaluate Jared, if you were to leave him, how well do you think he would maintain his production value? Oh, I mean, he already was a one-man band. I mean, the thing about editing and doing anything in terms of creative is having a vision. And if you don't have that vision, you'll never do anything that's decent. Jared's had a vision for a number of things that he might know not exactly how he wants to pull off right this second. But again, that's why you get editing guides, and that's why you look up stuff on YouTube, and that's why you guys are a fan of him, because you have a desire and a vision to do something, and then you go and you figure out how to do it, and you do it. Now, it's for the people that just don't go out and do it and sit on their ass and watch, and just play video games all day like me, that never get anything done.
Yeah, that's why the guy took so long to get edited.
The discount price is $147, yes.
Yep, discounts actually. So here's the story behind the discount. We say it's $50 off. Technically, it's $51.22 because I couldn't do 25% off because that was $49.25, and I was shorting you 75 cents. So it's technically 26% off. You want to call it a day, Todd?
Yeah, I mean, best advice is start editing videos and start a vlog. Well, learn how to edit. Buy the guide. Yeah. And then just do it.
Just do it. Just put a lot of stuff out. Doesn't have to be perfect. Look at my early videos. Go back to the very beginning of my video making. You will see the quality of stuff I put out. Now, audio is extremely important. If you don't have quality audio, it could be the best looking video in the world. Nobody will watch it because it sounds terrible.
One of the best filmmakers in the world is starting right now. So it could be you.
Oh, Todd. Wow. Did you hear that hard sell? Yep. Go to FroKnowsPhoto.com/ I almost said LR3030 because I said it so many times. Go to FroKnowsPhoto.com / video-editing-guide. The link is down here in the description of this video. You can get a 20-minute preview of it. There's three videos from inside the guide there. You can use the code LAUNCH at checkout to get $50 off. We really appreciate that you guys took the time out of your day to watch, and we are going to figure out how to turn this off so that we're not still live talking about you when we're done.
I know. It's going to be really weird when we get doing something else.
Oh, yeah. What are we doing, Todd?
Somebody did ask. They're getting their bachelor's in filmmaking. Will this guide help? Yeah. If you're going to go to school regardless, because I feel like, look, you can learn a lot of things outside of school. I think where school is very helpful is you go and meet a community of like-minded individuals. You go and you become, you meet other filmmakers, and that's where I met a lot of people that I still work with, was at school. Now, did school teach me everything I know? All school did was just give me the basic foundation. And in terms of editing, they barely scratched the surface in terms of editing for me. So I think the editing guide is hugely helpful, even if you're still planning on going to school to meet like-minded individuals.
We are seeing your comments. How about them apples? So that's about it, guys. We're getting out of here. Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya. Now, I've learned from the past doing live, Todd, that I have to wait till it shows up here before I turn it off.
Oh.
Because it will cut it off before that.
Oh.